Today, we will show you how to create a smart, dynamic, personal accounts manager in MS Excel using pivot tables. In today's tutorial, we will create a chart of accounts. Then we will create an input sheet for our transactions. Then we will use pivot tables to create a balance sheet, an income statement. We will first define the accounts for our income statement and balance sheet. We will define columns to classify accounts into income statement and balance sheet categories. Let's freeze the first row to keep heading at top. The cash transfer account will be used to transfer amount in and out of cash account. It is purely a balance sheet item, therefore, income statement columns will be left blank. Cash is an asset. Then one by one, we will define all other assets and liability accounts. In the next chapter, we will define income statement accounts, which will comprise of incomes and expenses. Now we will define income and expenses. We will classify salary and commission as primary income. Then we will define some rental incomes. We may also be receiving interest on our bank accounts, which will be classified as interest income. Any profit earned on our stocks defined above will be classified as investment income. Let's define some utilities, such as gas, electricity, phone, water, and internet. Let's define some grocery items, such as food, cleaning, cooking, tools, and replacements. We may as well define some accounts for health-related expenses, such as hospital and medicine expenses. Amount spent on learning and education will be defined as educational expenses. And finally, we will classify fuel and traveling expenses as transportation expenses. We should rename this sheet as Chart of Accounts. Now, we will create a classification for our income statement items in the balance sheet to automatically transfer their balances to the balance sheet. In case of company accounts, these items belong to the profit account in balance sheet, which is part of the equity. However, since this is a personal account, which is based on cash, instead of accrual, the net result of these items will be the cash. Therefore, we will classify them as cash, in the balance sheet category. Now, any transaction in these items will affect the cash account. If you are using a credit card or a bank account as your primary source for these transactions, you can use that instead of cash as well. We will create a new sheet where we will input our transactions. This will include the 5 columns from Chart of Accounts, in addition to the date and amount column. We will insert a table, with first row as column headings. We will use a drop-down list box to pick accounts from Chart of Accounts, using data validation. We will select the entire account column. This way any account added later to the Chart of Accounts will automatically be included in the drop-down list box. We will use the VLOOKUP formula to automatically enter classifications from Chart of Accounts based on account in column B. We will apply the same VLOOKUP formula to the remaining columns as well. Now, we can select accounts from Chart of Accounts and create a transaction by entering date and amount. Let's enter balances of our balance sheet items. We can enter balance sheet items in a previous date. We will enter all the assets in positive values. We will use the drop-down list box to choose an account from the Chart of Accounts. Liabilities must be entered in negative values. Let's add income accounts in positive values. Let's add expenses in negative values. We will use the above list of income and expenses to generate data of 2 more months. Now that we have all the data, we can create a monthly income statement. We will select the entire table, and in the Insert tab, we will click on the Pivot Table button. We will create a pivot table on a new page. Let's rename this page as Income Statement. We will add the chart of account grouping fields to the rows area. We will add the date field to the columns area. The amount field should be added to the values area. You can format the amount field using the value field settings. Our monthly income statement is now ready. The grand total is actually the net of income and expense, which is the cash flow during the month. By default, the totals appear on the top of the group, which you can change from settings, and display totals at the bottom of the group. We will use the existing pivot table to create a balance sheet by creating a copy of the income statement sheet. We will replace the income statement grouping from rows with balance sheet grouping. We will also remove the date field from the columns area. Let's hide the income and expenses items under cash, and bring the cash account to the top. Let's hide the blank rows from the balance sheet pivot table as well. The grand total of the balance sheet is actually the net assets. We forgot to add the XYZ stocks. Let's add it and refresh the report. Our balance sheet is now complete. Our accounting and reporting system is now complete. Let's transfer some of our cash to a bank account. To transfer amount from or to the cash account, we will use the cash transfer account. Let's enter cash transfer account, with a negative value of 5,000. Now our cash account is reduced by 5,000. Let's transfer this amount to one of our bank account. Let's go to the balance sheet, and refresh the pivot table to see the effect of our transaction. An amount of 5,000 has been transferred from cash to Citibank account. This is how you can create a smart accounts manager in Excel. To create a pie chart of expenses, we will create a copy of the income statement and rename the sheet as Expenses. Now, we will remove the date field from the columns area and move the income statement fields to the filters area. We will also remove the accounts field to display only the main categories. Let's also unfreeze the top rows. We will filter the items by expenses only. Now, we will click anywhere on the pivot table and add a pie chart. We will insert a chart sheet and move this chart to that sheet. Now we have the clear visualization of our main expenses. We can see that we spend the most on groceries, then transportation, and then the rest. Let's create another copy of the expenses sheet, to display expenses in more detailed chart. Let's add account field to the row area as well. Now, insert a column chart to display all expenses including the subcategories. To make the chart more meaningful, let's change it to percentage from value field settings. Let's display this chart on a separate chart sheet by inserting one. Now, copy the detailed expenses chart to the chart sheet. Now we can see all expenses within groups and subcategories. We can now delete the charts in the spreadsheets. Thanks for watching. We hope you liked our tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials and updates.